Welcome back to the Ginge Treasure. Hope everybody is having a wonderful holiday season. We are coming to an end of 2025. Coming is 2026, the year of the fire horse. It's a powerful Chinese zodiac, the fire horse, that is kind of like the year that brings the energy that charges you to accomplish your goals and tasks and start accelerating. This past year, the year of the snake, was a lot about shedding and letting go of the things that no longer serve you, and then to connect the two together. Once you have shed that skin and let go of those things that no longer serve you, you free up space energetically for the horse to come in and drive you to that next level of where you're going to be in life. Today, we are going to do a wire wrap that is very simple. It's definitely not an original. It is one of the types of wraps that I like that you can do with most any type of raw crystal. I will say I've kind of sifted and organized my crystals. You could see some quartz and citrine and amethyst over here. So technically you can do it for an awkward raw shaped stone like one of these twos, but I really recommend it for something that's more has the triangular, or they call it a crystal point. Actually, this would be a really good example of a quartz crystal point. You could see the hexagonal shape, 6 sides going around, and generally it has kind of like a tower or a V triangular shape coming inward. Here's another good example. Actually, this is a smoky quartz, and the telltale that it is a quartz point is, of course, because it has this pointy end right here. Today we are going to use this Chevron Amethyst, and we are going to wrap it in some copper wire. This is I pulled this from a spool of 24 gauge, and I apologize for the mess. I am working on some resin, and I did an impatient thing that you should probably never ever do when working with resin, and I didn't lay down a protective surface. I said, nah, I'm good, I won't spill, because I haven't spilled. I've poured about 20 times and I haven't spilled, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll be good. But sure enough, the one time is all it takes, and I spilled. Well, so here I am with the 24 gauge wire. This is about 28 inches. I actually measured it this time, which is just over 2 feet of wire. And as you can see, I've folded it in half. So I have 2 points at one end and then the loop at the other end. And I'm going to take my clips and just clip that loop. So now we have 2 perfectly symmetrical in length wires, and we're just going to eyeball. It doesn't necessarily have to be precise, but we're going to eyeball somewhere to be about the middle. So we're going to create an X here. X marks the spot, so we're going to give that little spot a twist. So if you notice, my 2 fingers here, I'm pinching on these 2 wires, whereas my thumb and finger here are anchoring down on these 2 wires. So what I'm going to do is pinch and twist one more time, and I'll show you what that looks like. It creates that little twisted twist. And now what I'm going to do is move my index finger over here, put my thumb over the top of it. Careful not to cover it exactly on the twist. The idea is that I'm pinching down slightly to the left of that twist, and then I bring these 2 wires and cross them over, and what it does is creates that little almond shape or eyeball shape, and then I will pinch down on these two wires and give these two a twist, and what that does is that anchors it so that now that window is locked in place. Sometimes I like to just open up the window by taking the pliers and poking them through the window like that and just widening it. Not always necessary. What's important is that your window is big enough to fit the crystal through, but not so big that the entire crystal will be able to pass through it. So this is just the perfect size. It's a pretty large crystal, the amethyst that I'm working with today, so I was able to do a pretty large window. We're going to go ahead and just tuck that tip right in there, and then we're going to fold where we've twisted those spirals, folding them upwards. So if this is the bottom, the base of the crystal, and this is the top, we're going to be folding our wires upwards. So now you see I have the two wires wrapped on this side, and then on the other side, two wires wrapped on that side. Now we're going to switch and bring these two, cross them over, pinch down, and twist, and then fold that up, and then we'll do the same thing over on this end. So these two need to come together, pinch down, twist, and then fold up. And guess what? We're just going to repeat that process, only switching back to these two, which were the original two that twisted over here. We're going to bring them back together. And twist 2 times, and then fold that up, and we're pretty close to the top now. So we'll bring these two over. And this is a little bit of a challenge when we get to this edge where it's uneven. Generally, I like to go under instead of coming over, because the thing is that creates a big window or a gap here that potentially the entire crystal could fall out of. So I would like to minimize that risk by bringing it down here when I pinch and twist, and then bring that up, and there you go. You have a window that's not large enough. There's no risk of the crystal falling out. And then we'll do it one last time, switching the sides so that these are the two that got twisted here. We're going to switch and bring these two over here, twist them, and we'll go ahead and do 3 twists, so 1 extra twist on that last one. And the reason being, and this time we're gonna bring them together so that there's this little tippy top, mountaintop of the crystal that's still exposed. We're gonna pinch down just below that mountaintop and twist 3 times. And I might even just twist one more time because I could see it's a little bit loose in there. So I will go ahead and twist just one more time, and that really tightens up this gap so that this wire has no chance of coming over the mountaintop, although it looks like it still might. In which case, I'm going to get my flats involved and do one really firm last twist there. Now, shouldn't be able to pop over the mountaintop. Then we're going to fold. Let me pull these apart first. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 wires. We're going to fold in such a way that 1 goes in the middle. And if this is 2, then this is 3. This wire here. 3 is going to fold over in the opposite direction. So if this is 1 and this is 2, this is 3, 2 and 4 stay on the outside, and we're just going to play with 1 and 2 and twist them together 2 times. And then now we'll get 4 and 2 involved, and we're going to bring this wire that I'm holding is 2 and this one is 4, and we're going to just twist them around, spin them around until they meet the first wire over here. So now what we have is 3 wires connected. What's going on with the focus? Needs to get in there. All right, so we have 3 wires and 1 wire is separate. with the 3 wires, what we're gonna do is just pinch maybe, I don't know, is that like a inch or so? So I'm pinching right here. I'm not pinching at the base where the 3 wires meet, but just a little bit out. And we're gonna pinch and roll this roller coaster loop to loop. You see that loop to loop? And then wrap those 3 around the neck of this. So if I could get your focus right here. So you see how we have the loop, which I sometimes call the head, and the crystal is the body. Well, between the head and the body is the neck, and I wrap these 3 wires around like a scarf going around the neck. And you could even bring that 4th wire to join and become an extra thick scarf. And that's really it. That's all there is to it. The last step is to clip off all the excess wire, but when I clip, I always leave just a little nub, so instead of going all the way down to the base of it, down here, I'll clip up here. All that wire goes away, and now I have these 4 nubs that I will grab with my needle nose pliers. And what I do, I pinch the tip of the wires to the tip of the pliers as best I can, right? Make sure I have a firm grip, and then I just curl, right? So what it creates is a hook. You see how there's actually, it looks like there's only 1 wire there, but it's all 4. And they've curled a hook. I'll even curl it just a little bit more. You see how they're almost ready to just get hooked in into that scarf, and exactly that's what we'll do, is we'll tuck it into the underneath the scarf, so it'll separate the scarf from the crystal, these little hooks. And the idea is that with these hooks tucked away, there won't be any pokey tips on your jewelry. So I carefully, with my flats, just kind of pinch and roll and press those hooks so that they're tucked away in there, right? No more pokey tips. And now you're ready for this, the head or the lace here. Well, you're ready for the loop to get laced through, which I actually didn't grab a lace. Let's see, I might have one in my little station here. I don't, but that's all right. I'll just use a little wire to show you. If you have some snake chain or regular chain, any kind of lace, you could even do a leather lace. You just thread it through all those loops, and now your pendant hangs. And that's it. Happy holidays. Oh, by the way, I just want to say a big shout out to all my subscribers. If you like the content, give me a comment or a thumbs up, and let me know what else you would like to see for wire wrapped videos in the future. I'm pretty versatile. I do rings, earrings, pendants of all styles, bracelets, crowns, and of course I do resin as well. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you would like to see. I am responding to the comments. I noticed a lot of people have commented on the music or the volume being too loud. And in fact, that's why this video has no music. It was the last request, is that there was no music involved. So you are welcome. Bye for now.